Do we need this here?
Sure.
Is it a nice prop?
Mm-hmm.
How come your mug? You don't have your mug on the right side. Is that a left-handed mug?
I don't know.
Like, cause look, like there's nothing on this side, but you're right-handed. So like, I think those mugs are wrong. You have to have a left-handed mug.
Happy.
But are you left-handed?
Uh-uh.
Well, then I think your mug's wrong.
But I can operate with the left hand. I can write with the left hand.
Can you? I can.
You can read it. It's not amazing, but yeah, I got pretty good skills writing with the left hand.
I used to switch it.
I did too because I broke my right arm.
Oh, I did because I was better from the left side.
Yeah.
I did. Like in high school and college, I was like a switch hitter. I was leading.
Nobody cares.
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Somebody does care. They don't care about your left-handed breakage.
Okay, I think this is episode 12.
It is, because we didn't do one last week.
Yeah, because we were at the games.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were going to do one, but we decided not to.
So we get home.
Yeah.
Did you stop at Buc-ee's on the way home again?
No. We stopped on the way out. Yeah. No.
So have you ever been to a Buc-ee's before this trip?
Yes.
I don't like it.
It's not exciting, bro.
It stresses me out. It makes my anxiety levels rise.
Way too many people.
There's too much stuff.
Some of the food's good.
What are you eating in Buc-ee's?
Breakfast food.
What did you eat at Buc-ee's? Because I got fresh pineapple in a cup.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had one of the breakfast burritos. It was pretty good.
Is there cheese in it?
No, I didn't get no cheese.
Oh, so you can make them custom.
Well, I think they had some that were labeled.
Oh, okay. So just eggs and sausage or something?
Mine was eggs and bacon.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
That's good. When you're hungry, it's really good.
Well, my pineapple was spectacular, and so was the banana.
What are we talking about?
We were going to talk about the games.
Okay.
So we were in Birmingham is it really last weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so last weekend. It's only been a week. It feels like it's been like 2 weeks.
And noted.
What?
I haven't worked out.
This is ridiculous.
7
he hasn't done anything, and he's
days.
He's cranky because he has not done anything in 7 days.
Bad. When I got back, I had some. I think my immune system was down, and I got kind of hit with some congestion, and haven't been feeling the best. So I wanted to just make sure that.
But you did sauna.
I know every day. I've taken care of my body.
I really feel like the sauna is going to be integral this winter.
Yeah.
You know, especially with immune system kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So here's my question. We're having a discussion. Any of you guys out there, have you done a major athletic event, a marathon, a triathlon, a CrossFit competition, especially those multi-day ones, and then after you get done and get home, end up getting a cold? Because I've had that happen to me, and I know several people that do. Because from what I understand, your immune system goes fight or flight, and then once it kind of hangs on until you're done with that comp, all those germs, it kind of goes, okay, we're done fighting, and you end up getting a little bit sick. So
I feel like, because remember I was paranoid before I left.
Yeah, you were paranoid.
And I was taking messages. I wasn't feeling exactly right, so I don't know if I had remnants of it before.
You probably did.
Or whatever. I don't know, but anyway, starting to feel a little better.
That's good.
It doesn't matter. Training starts tomorrow.
Training is starting tomorrow, so no more sitting around.
Yeah. Okay, so back to
the games.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's do a little recap here. So we headed to Birmingham. Now, we'll get into preparation for competition. That may be a whole other podcast, how to prepare for a multi-day event.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just talk about how you did and how you feel like you did, and maybe some of the events that you felt like you were stronger at versus others. So let's talk about the programming first.
So honestly?
Yeah. He's been thinking about this for a week, so I don't even know what's about to come out of his mouth.
Because I had a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah.
And so I got back into competition mode, and we trained what I thought was hard, but I wasn't prepared.
What about volume-wise? Do you think that the volume was enough this past summer?
No. That's the biggest difference. Like now we're going to take a hard right or something. But
sorry.
No, but it's fine. I'm not worried about time today. You want to listen, you listen. Because there's probably a lot to talk about. But people get in and, say, oh, when you get older, that's too much volume. Okay. Mm-hmm. Dependent on
what your goals are.
What you want to do. Mm-hmm. If you want GPP, just general fitness.
Come to class.
Yeah, feeling good, that kind of thing. Yeah. CrossFit handles all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. If you want to compete at the highest level,
it's got to be different.
The volume was not enough. Mm-hmm. And we did a lot. I just think I turned it on too late. And with me being out of it for 2 years, I have to be kind of honest with myself. My performance was not good. It was not up to my standard. And I probably took it for granted because I'm so used to the things leading up to it. Okay, it's January. Let's get open prep in mind. And I tend to always have one crappy workout, but then I always tend to have something in my wheelhouse, so I get back in it. You just kind of manage the open because the score there is not the biggest deal. You got to be the top 10%.
No, it was 25 this year.
Oh yeah, top 25%.
25%. Yeah. Which is a huge accomplishment, and we don't want to
No. I'm not saying that,
but it's not what it used to be. It's not. It used to be top 200.
Yeah.
To go to the next level, so those open scores they really meant something. Yeah. And now you don't have to be top 200 till the semifinals.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's different.
I don't have to peak, meaning like I don't have to give everything I got. So you do that, and then we go into the quarters, right?
Yeah.
And then they take. Is that the top 10%?
No, so you had to be top 25% to get into the quarters.
Yeah.
And then once you're in the quarters, they took the top 200
That's right, top 200
to the semifinals. So you can't really have a bad workout in the quarters, whereas in the open, you can have one that kind of goes poorly, or maybe you eat some Mexican right before you do 100 burpees in the middle of the workout.
Yeah.
Not that we did that. And you can still advance. Going from the quarters to the semis, you can't have a bad workout.
But my point is like, it gets tougher, but then you start peaking, and you always tend to have some workouts that are in my wheelhouse, and so you do well with that. But then when you get there, it's been a minute since I've been back, and I got complacent. I don't know what it is. I wasn't prepared like I needed to be. 3 events Thursday, 3 events Friday, 3 events Saturday, blah 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 blah. It was a lot of volume, and not that I'm not used to volume. I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel right. And I don't think I was eating properly. It was a shit storm.
There were a few events that were rough.
Yes. How about that? The muscle up one, I got my feet back under me. I was feeling good. I did pretty decent. But man, I was lacking energy. We had one that was running in the deadlift, and
that one did not go as well.
I'm a decent runner. I guess we haven't been.
Deadlifts are a strength of yours.
Deadlifts are a strength of mine.
And they were a struggle.
I had zero energy. I was not feeling right. So, man, there's just a lot of things that just didn't go well.
Well, and something you just said kind of really should hit home for everyone, regardless if they're a games athlete or not. You said I took it for granted. And it's because you've been there before. And that's something we do in life in general. We take for granted every day we walk in the gym. Yep. It's just another day in the gym, instead of going, hey, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be alive. I'm gonna get every ounce I can out of this. And we're complacent in so many things, even in the good habits we have sometimes.
But let's make something abundantly clear.
Yeah.
For the first time, I had both of my daughters there.
Which is exciting and awesome.
Madison didn't used to get to go. She had color guard in high school, so she was there. Haley was there. Christy was there. You were there. Clay got to come. A lot of people from the gym. So, man, that was the highlight. That was, for me, that was amazing. So I'm not taking
not at all.
Any of that for granted.
It's the athletic portion.
It's just the expectation that you put on yourself.
Yeah.
And I'll share something. And these are kind of tough things. Like when you think of the games, there was a year that I was tied for third. I blew up my shoulder. I thought I had a good opportunity to podium. I hurt myself. That was the time they took 10 people. So I reflect back to some of those moments. Like I feel like I never felt like I could train to win. I always felt like I could
train to get there.
If I just trained to get there, that was enough. And I'm not saying that it's not for some people. Man, it's a great accomplishment. The athletes that are there are freaking amazing. I mean, they're the best in the world.
Absolutely.
That's what they are. And not only athletic, but humans. Like, listen, when we're on a competition floor, people are going at each other. Sometimes there's a little shoving on the run, making cracks and jokes, like getting after it. But when it's all done, it's high five and it's talking,
Mm-hmm.
it's encouragement. You know, Masters is unlike nobody else. It's just an amazing community. But I mean, I'm flipping the switch. Like, I want to train to go
win.
Uh-huh. You know, and now that that's happened, where I think that it was tough, and I was down on myself, and it hurt. But after, you know, when I think about it, you have to use those things as, okay, why did it happen? What can I do better?
Yeah.
How do I train? You got to be so serious
if that's what
you want to do.
Yeah.
And it dials into food, high volume training, sleep, habits,
all of it.
Insane habits.
Yeah. You read Matt Fraser's book, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there's one line in his book, and I actually found it in our bonus room the other day while I was cutting stuff for shirts. And I've underlined it. I've written it in multiple journals and things. And he said when he decided to flip the switch, when he went, I think was it regionals? And he did so horribly.
Yeah.
I think in the rowing workout. And then he went to the games another year, and his fitness was not there.
Yeah.
And he said he had to decide that he was going to, every choice he made, he asked himself one question: is this going to help me or hinder me? Is this getting me closer to my goal or further away? Even little, and it was little things. And his were even kind of extreme, like, am I going to be the one that cuts my steak, or somebody else, just in case I cut my hand with my knife?
Yeah.
Now, do you need to go quite that extreme? I don't know, maybe. But it was every decision. Am I going to stay up late watching TV and possibly get less sleep for my training tomorrow morning? Am I going to choose to have this cookie or this protein shake tonight? Yeah. And it was those decisions that he changed all the little decisions. Yeah. And the little ones are really what added up. Now, I'm going to ask you a hard question. Is that all right?
Yeah.
This is not one that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Going into the games and going into training for the games specifically, coming out of the semifinals, which were in, was it April?
I guess, sure.
It was back in the late spring. You were 10th, weren't you?
Yeah, it fluctuated 8th, 9th, 10th.
I mean, but coming out of the semifinals, you were really high up, were you not? You were like 10th out of 30 that got to go to the games. So they took 30 in his age group. Do you think that had an effect on how hard you trained?
Yes. And
you're going in like knowing I'm 10th, maybe I don't have to always go the extra mile.
Yes. But I think too, because when I reflect back, that's why I referenced the 19 games.
Yeah.
And 10 people. Mm-hmm. So you knew
those 10 were
like you're
the absolute top.
You're top 10. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so then I took a break off, and then so I get back into it. But then here's the difference. Now you take 30. Mm-hmm. So most of them I've known for years, and I've competed with them. Mm-hmm. But then here's some new people that you don't really know, and I got to meet a whole bunch of them, great people. But man,
they're hungry.
They're hungry and
they're working their butts
fit.
Uh-huh.
So you don't mean to take things for granted or be complacent. It was just a norm that you were used to, and you got just as good a shot as anybody else based on some of the workouts. But you know, at the end of the day, like, I wasn't as prepared I need to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say this. And we like to joke and have fun and poke with things like box step-ups, or
he says I'm only good at them because I'm 8 feet tall.
You know, wall balls, dumbbell step-overs. Like, you have wall ball. Did I say wall balls?
You did. That's the second time.
Wall balls. Here's my different mindset. I'm not talking about that stuff anymore because those are excuses. Okay? Yeah. I don't care about any of that stuff. When you have weaknesses, you've got to attack them. And that's what we're going to do. There were a lot of workouts that
they didn't hit your sweet spot.
They didn't hit my sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's what I get for being complacent, not being prepared. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use that every day that I train to get better.
Let's use one of those workouts as an example, because there was one of the workouts there that 2/3 of the workout, you were waxing the entire field. Mm-hmm. And it was the one that started with 75 double unders, 15 chest to bar, and a max calorie echo.
Yeah.
Your double unders were faster than I have seen maybe ever.
Right.
And they were on point.
Yeah.
Your chest to bar were perfect. You were coming off that bar way ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
But the bike, which is where all the points came from, you got absolutely no points. If that workout were reversed, and let's say it was, 15 calories on the Echo bike, maybe it was 75 double unders and then max chest to bar, the results of that workout are vastly different. But because it was organized in a way that you were only getting points for, the cardiovascular and really power, and guys that are bigger than you have a huge advantage on that bike. But we've got to get to a point where it doesn't matter which one of those three it is.
Exactly.
It just is
power, strength, and endurance,
which we've been talking about for months and months.
How you combine it, and then that's a different workout. So, but also this, I've always.
Well, I just said that only because I know how disappointed you were in your performance.
Yeah.
But there were parts of your performance that were excellent.
Yeah. Here's the difference too, though. And you're right.
I'm always right.
I'm
not always.
Not necessarily wrong. Is like where I have to be a different athlete. And Jason Grubb said it when we were talking about the workout and what you're really good at.
Congratulations, Jason.
Yep. 5th time. He's an animal. But he has intense.
He's got intense focus, man.
Man, focus, right? So, math.
It's all about the math.
Math. He knew when he got on the bike, if he held 500 watts, which you can do RPM or watts, he feels more comfortable with the watts, like we talked about. He knew if he held that,
he could win.
He could win and finish it. So
you have a tendency to go more on feel.
I go by feel on some stuff, which some stuff is okay, but when you're coming to stuff like that, you gotta know.
You gotta math it.
And those are the difference, flipping the switch of being so intense
and dialed in
and focused on what we're doing. And that's coming with our programming. That's what we're doing. It's going to be the best out there. I mean, we're already mapping it. Strength, power, endurance. I mean, we're coming hard. Like I'm probably going to be the most intense, insanest person that I've trained and done starting Monday, because it's super important to me. And no matter where the dust settles, like I will know
that you gave absolutely everything.
I gave everything. You know what I mean? And what happens. I'm going to have fun doing it. This
is fun for us. This isn't, and we don't want people to think like we're just gluttons for punishment here. I mean, but like this is fun for us. We enjoy it. We want to work hard. The hard work is the fun part.
But it's also, what do you want? What do you want?
I know what I want.
And it's no different. You come into class, you want to be fit, you want to be healthy. Perfect, man. Perfect. I'm trying to get to the next level. That's just what I want to do. And when you see, if you haven't seen these people, man, I was sitting there watching 70-year-old women climb a freaking rope.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. It's like, I don't know. And I have to say, I know we've been going a long time, but even, some people were talking about how the individuals were not with the masters. Man, I loved it.
I actually liked it a lot. I thought they did a great job. And I'd like to see them pull in the teams and the adaptive and have us all at one venue. I really think that would be an incredible situation. I know that there were some people online that they're just haters and they bark about stuff. And one of our friends had this happen. They got a pair of shorts that had, say, adaptive or teams or something on it.
Shorts got mixed up.
They fixed them immediately. There were people there were fantastic. But that, having us all in the same place, I know that the teams, like going up to Kalamazoo, they had a smaller amount of athletes. There was
only two age groups.
Smaller amount of 2 age groups, and that guys and girls for 2. That's it. And then adaptive has more categories but less people per category. We could all be in one location and really do it upright.
But my point too, though, is like, because everything was there, so you could go to each floor. And it was all masters. People there were enjoying it. We're talking to each other, meeting people you haven't met. You were the focus, and masters just doing amazing things. That's why I liked it. And I know it's just going to grow and get better and better and better. So it was really cool. I enjoyed it. Are there things I need to work on? Hell yeah. It's with any competition. I think Bob and Joe did a great job. They were putting out fires, and I loved the programming. It kicked my butt. And it exposed some things, and hey, man, that's cool. That's just what makes you better. But I'm moving on. it's been a tough week for me to analyze on what's been going on. I had some great messages. My daughter sent me one that was just phenomenal. Dr. Bob, he's in our age group. He saw my message, sent me a great message. He took off this year. I think he'll be back next year.
That's what it is. The end of his message you said sent.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to be back on that competition floor.
Yeah. So, we put high expectations on ourselves, and when we don't do as well, it can be tough. But I think I'm at a point in my life where, you can kick your ass a little bit, analyze it, take some time, and then be like,
it's time to move on.
Okay, it's time to go.
That's what you always say. Onward.
Yeah. You got to reflect. But the key is using those things to get better.
Yeah.
And I have a fire brewing inside of me that that I'm just going to use to fuel my training and do what I need to do to get there. And by the way, get you there.
I know.
Games 2025, Aaron Snellgrove, 45 to 49, aging up.
I've got
November.
What is this? It's September.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 months.
Yeah.
And I'll be next category.
Yeah.
You got any competitions you want to do this year before the Open?
No. We're doing High Rocks.
We are doing High Rocks.
In November.
To Dallas.
Yeah, so
that's going to be fun.
That'll be good for the endurance and stuff like that. We're not going to let it affect training. We're going to be hardcore on our training and what we're going to do.
That's going to be a great test of how doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
It bleeds over into other things.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah. No, I'm not interested. I thought about Wadapalooza, but I'm just not going to interrupt my training. What I do want to do, and I thought about this, and I know Jason Grubbs does this, every couple of months I want to simulate a little bit higher volume over the weekend or something.
Like almost a simulated competition style?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
2 or 3 workouts one day, couple workouts the next day.
Yep.
That kind of feel, because I will be prepared for what's next. But yeah, just a lot of thoughts, but a lot of training. I know you're doing the beach ball.
I am in a couple weeks. Yeah, I'm going down.
Yeah.
I did not do the Masters category.
No, I've done that before too.
I figured there are going to be some really good girls in that RX category.
It's fun time.
My favorite part is going and doing competitions like that, and they're all chatting like, oh, when you going to be a Masters? And then they ask how old I am, and they're like, you're older than my mom. Yeah. That's my favorite.
I do want to do Wadapalooza. I just don't think it's going to fit, and just with my schedule and what's going on. But it's a great event.
Are we going to do the qualifier just for fun?
I don't know, maybe.
I think that'd be a good test.
Who knows? If something changes and I do one, it would be Wadapalooza. Probably my second favorite event on the planet.
Miami in January. I know Christy likes it.
Miami in January. It's freezing here. It's usually 70 degrees down there. Yeah, there's a couple times it was a bad rainstorm.
We ran through the rain with Jason Grubb. We ran through the streets of Miami in a thunderstorm or tornado warning.
Yep, but that would be the one. What are we going to end with?
Choices. Make good choices.
Yeah. I'm very blessed and grateful that I had the opportunity. I love the Masters community. I just need to take myself to the next level and know and believe that I have an opportunity to stand on that podium just like anybody else. But you have to put in the work. The flip side of that, take the competition out of it, and I'll tell people out there that are looking for fitness, I believe the same thing for you. That don't necessarily need to stand on top of a podium. I'm saying you can get healthy. You can go from sickness to wellness just by stepping in a CrossFit gym. If you can't come to us, go find one or check out our online programming. So other than that, ready?
I have been ready.
Okay.
Yes.
3, 2.
Maybe not for this part.
1. Let's go.
That's long.
That's fine.